Before Pickin, they used to have what they call old-fashioned days, where all the merchants downtown would pull the merchandise out on the sidewalk sale. They would have the women dressed in old clothes, like in late 1800s, early 1900s. The guys would be dressed up like that, and then they would always have a parade that Saturday. But that's basically how it was before Pickin. Late 1980s, 4 people, myself, my wife, Adam Hardy, and Landy Thomas, started to have a barbecue cook-off to raise money for the Shrine Hospital. The very first one was held in what was Long Street Chevrolet's parking lot, which is where Pizza Hut is today. We did it for about 3-4 years, and then we joined the Omar Jokers came in and helped us and also raised money for Shrine Hospital. They kept it with them for about 8 years, I think, or maybe a little longer. Gave it up, and then the Kingstree Barbecue Cook-Off Club was formed with myself, my wife, Adam Hardy, Landy Thomas, and D.C. McFadden started it, and Rudy Tisdall. We kept it for probably 4 or 5 more years, and everybody kind of got tired of it, and we moved on and asked the town if they would take it over, and the town took it over sometime in the early 1990s. I became mayor, I think, 2007. I've been mayor now 6 years. Before that, I was always organizing the barbecue cook-off and everything on it. Since becoming mayor, I hadn't lost any duties. I'm continuing monitoring the cook-off and helping with the people who's head of the festival to make sure that we have a very good barbecue cook-off. It was just a real slow build. Like I said, we had 4 cookers the first year and I think 6 the second, and just kind of eased on up 2 and 3 cookers a year until we got up to be real big. As the years went on, we moved it from Long Street Chevrolet down to where the Anderson Brothers Bank is now. And then from there, the town moved it to downtown where the station house is. And when we outgrew the station house, we moved out here to Kingstree Recreation Department.
I've been living in Kingstree for almost 14 years now. I came to work at the Kingstree Police Department almost 14 years ago, and last May I became the municipal clerk of court, May of 2011.
What were your impressions of the Pickin when you first started working with it?
A lot of work. You had to make sure you had all of the vendors and the cookers, and if you were having entertainment coming, and just a lot of behind the scenes work. This year we wanted to bring in Bobby Brantley. I got in contact with his booking agent. It took about 3 weeks for them to contact me back and said, yeah, he could come, and told me what, was required, and we got everything straight and ran with it. We had Andrews Fabricators and Kingstree IGA, along with the town sponsor, Bobby Brantley from Lizard Lick Towing, to come. Without them, I really don't think we could have pulled it off. They were very instrumental in it. And also the town workers. Everyone stepped up and did an awesome job, and I really appreciate it.
Why do you like Bobby?
Because he is awesome.
Why do you like Lizard Lick Towing?
Oh man, good show. Yeah, Bobby, Ronnie, Shirley, Ronnie, Amy. Yeah.
What's your favorite episode?
When they steal they got the repo, the ski boat, jump on the jet skis.
Now what's gonna happen whenever you guys walk away here and your car's gone? Are you gonna blame Bobby?
No.
What's your favorite episode?
I gotta say, whenever he has hiding from Juicy, it's our early showing, I guess, first season or so, when he's hiding from her.
You're not gonna be nervous when you get up there, are you?
Yeah. Can you follow him with that camera?
They look at Joe's TV all the time.
They look at my TV when they visit my house. That's what you see. You said they look at my TV. How they see my TV? They always see my TV at my house. Love the show. Thank you very much, sir. Why do you keep following me around?
Well, it's been a great event for a number of years. With the changing administrations over the last decade or so, there were some administrative things that maybe could be cleaned up, and the town departments could coordinate a little bit better and work more cooperatively together. I think we've done some of that, and just enforcement of the guidelines and making sure that everyone was getting the same information at the right time. Well, we're getting really close to kind of being at a point where we can just maintain and just make minor adjustments, improvements, maybe with the entertainment each year, or coming up with things that are bigger draws. But we really have gone through a number of changes and gotten more efficient and more effective in our organization the last 4 years, and we've made some really good improvements. Well, my favorite part is the rib and chicken judging on Saturday afternoon, in which I get to be a judge. But really, bringing all the people into the community, special events are something that I've always thought were very important, because they identify the community, give it some character, and let people see what the rest of the community is about. But it brings everybody together in a safe environment, it gives them something positive to do, and it's just an enjoyable event. Also, it has a good economic impact for the community.
Fifth place, check for $400, J&J Barbecue number 2. Fourth place, check for $500, Bigfoot Barbecue number 1. Third place, check for $800, Backwoods Barbecue. Second place, check for $1,000, Hot Lanta 1.
Right here? Right here? Thank you.
First place, check for $2,000, Hot Lanta 2.
We just hope that Kingstree Pickin continues to grow. The more people comes into town, the more money is spent in town. We started off having campers here at Kingstree Recreation Department about 5-6 years ago. That seems to be an added feature here. We have sites for, I think, 8 or 9 campers to come. We're just hoping we can make it bigger and better, and hopefully Kingstree will be the #1 cook-off place in South Carolina here shortly. This year we lost a very close friend of ours and family of the town, which is Danny McFadden. Danny's been instrumental in Kingstree for a number of years. Danny and myself grew up as friends. Me and his brothers grew up down the street from each other. We've known Danny forever, and Danny is going to be somebody hard to replace for the town of Kingstree. He got along with all the kids, all the adults. It takes a special person to get along in the recreation department when you got the parents and fathers think their son should be on the all-star team and they don't make it. So Danny was the type that could handle that type situation.
Well, my original career was in Parks and Recreation, so when I came here and met Danny, we sort of had many things in common. If you've never stared down an angry mother whose son or daughter didn't make the all-star team and have to deal with that, it's hard to appreciate what Park and Recreation people go through. But Danny was a good Park and Recreation director, and has done good work here in the community for a long time. But I certainly could relate to him and the experiences and difficulty of what his job entailed.
Yes, Danny was my right and left hands when it come to pig picking. If I needed something or wasn't sure about something, all I would have to do was call him. And he would let me know how to do it or what needed to be done.
Danny loved Kingstree so much that he dedicated himself. He was an excellent worker. He was an excellent provider. He was a person who can go out and get money from anywhere. He was that type of person that if you need anything, he'd do anything to go out the way and help you.
It's a little like the legacy of a teacher or sometimes a religious person, a preacher, what have you. You touch a lot of lives through a lot of generations, and sometimes you touch lives that you aren't even aware of how you're affecting them. But his work with young people for so many years, his memory and his memory of his programs in those young people's mind will go on for years and years to come.
Not only was Danny my co-worker, he was my friend. If you needed something, he was there for you regardless of what it was. If you needed a shoulder to cry on or just someone to talk to, you could go to Danny.
Me and Danny, we clicked when I first came from the water department. We have our little ups and downs, but this is what his main thing to me is he does his job and he let me do my job. And you know, we had each other back, so what he didn't do, I do. So that's how we worked all together for 13 years.
Danny's favorite thing was to play golf. If you talked to him 9 times out of 10, you were talking about golf. He just loved the interaction with the people. Just how everything went. This year especially, it went good, and he got to play in it with his son, which he was ecstatic about. That's all he talked about the whole morning before he teed off. But that's pretty much his favorite thing about it. Danny was all about the kids. He loved getting to spend time with them, teaching them baseball, football. His legacy is this complex. Every time I come here, I think of Danny just for the simple fact that he's done so much for the youth in this town. And it's big shoes to fill, and they might not ever fill them like Danny did.
Danny loves sports, baseball, soccer, any sports he loved. So if you were a kid that loved sports, he was down to do anything for you. Pitching, he loves to pitch, show you how to pitch. We used to teach kids how to play golf. About 4 years ago, we had a soccer tournament, and we had a soccer team, but you know, to do soccer, you had to have somebody who's dedicated. And we did a real good job at that.
Danny liked the crowds. Danny was a people person. He loved for people to come in so he could talk with them from everywhere. He didn't meet a stranger, not that I seen anyway. He loved the golf tournament. Lord, he loved the golf tournament. But he wanted everything to be smooth as it could for the town.
I just hope everybody remember Danny for what he was. He was a great person, a great friend. He would do anything for you that he could. He got Mr. Darren Kirby to cook a hog this year for the Kingstree Little League. Darren cooked it and turned in over $300 for Kingstree Little League. Danny would go out and help anybody. He was a great fundraiser. He would come in the hardware store and say, "You owe me 4 tickets for plates." And I said, "I didn't order plates." He said, "No, I've already paid for them, so you owe me for 4 plates." He was that type guy. he could always go out and raise money for anybody. He's going to be surely missed.
His preacher said it right to us the other day. He said Danny would want everybody to go out this next 2 weeks and play a round of golf. That golf tournament was Danny's pride and joy. He loved to play golf. He loved to get people together to enjoy the game like he did.